figure some of these guys know this kind of as well. Look, I've been a player, I've been a commentator, I've run tournaments, and there's something going on right now. I mean, I understand when players are frustrated or just want to play, they're getting angry, they're losing, there's a lot of pressure, all that, but the poor treatment of casters and sometimes of staff, I'm not going to get into the staff and admins and stuff like that right now because sometimes there are bad admins, sometimes there's good admins. But specifically, I'm just going to speak for myself and my other casters. We've talked about this, and so this is the end now. This has happened too much, and it's going away as of me talking about this. No, I'm serious, man, because from now on, I'm not going to use any names right now, but from now on, if anyone treats us like shit during the tournament, any of the players, they're getting called out for it because this is bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
There are a lot of players, not all of them, there's some very sweetie pies that are always manner and nice, but there are players out there that treat us like shit when we're trying to get the games going, and it is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to everyone right now, the players, the management of the players, fans, and tournament organizers. To players, cut the shit out, okay? Like, I'm in there working, every event I go to, I'm there at least for 10 hours, and I have to be on the entire time. I have to be talking about how good you are after you're being mean to me. It doesn't make any sense.
What kind of mean?
Dude, they just
they
will talk shit and be mean and start games when they shouldn't and just put us under stressful situations.
Yeah. Dan, were they using your own accounts? Like, was your name Artosis when you would cast?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But they know based upon where they are, what stage they're on, who's casting them.
Okay.
But anyways, that's beside the point. Players need to cut that shit out. It needs to end here. If I catch anyone, making fun of Tasteless before we go into a game again, oh, you are just, I swear to God, man. No, I'm not joking around here, man. There's a lot of flamers out there.
What?
So, I'm not fucking around, man.
Tasteless?
This happens. People are rude. They get angry and they get rude. And you know what? The management of these players, get them the fuck under control. It cannot happen anymore. The fact that myself and Day9 and Tasteless and Apollo and Total Biscuit and Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam and all these casters that are flying around working 10-plus hours a day, we have to be on the camera. I know that pro gaming is hard and frustrating and difficult. So is casting, because it is so hard to be on a camera. As I'm sure you know, Jeff, you've done the commentating and the playing now. It's a difficult thing to do, especially when you're going out live. And to have to put up with that is so ridiculous, I cannot even tell you. So, I mean, management, get your players under control. This is actually ridiculous. To fans, eventually a tournament organizer is going to get their act together and ban these people.
Yeah,
there are going to be player bans eventually. Next year, I guarantee you, some player that has flown a long way for a tournament is going to open his mouth one too many times, and he's going to get banned. And you know what? The fans need to get behind the tournament, not the player, and be like, "Oh, I can't believe you banned this guy. He flew so far." No.
Don't give names, but give examples.
No,
because I can't imagine. I don't know what it looks like to make fun of Tasteless before I host a game. I don't know what that looks like.
It's a bad thing, man. And I got so angry when this happened. It was just we're just trying to get games going, and I don't want to get too specific because I'm not actually calling anyone out. I mean, I'm friends with most of these players that are even doing this. It's just, this has to be said publicly because I think, there needs to be support from the community to tournaments to be able to ban players like this. Okay, because what if there's this huge fan favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make this sound so ridiculous. Let's say White Raw is being a little jerk, right? Of course he never is. We should all try to be like White Raw.
Fucks up, man.
Okay?
Sometimes he gets a little bit of an attitude under him.
No, he doesn't. But let's say it was him, right? People would be so angry if he got banned. But if he's treating everyone like garbage, he needs to be banned. But of course it's not White Raw. We should all try to be like White Raw instead of, be prissy bitches that are going to actually, cause problems. And I understand, seriously, I've been the pro player. I've been in these tournaments. I've been a dick to people before. But, the industry is growing. The jobs that we're all doing are hard and they're long hours and all that. So let's try to be nice to each other. All right? It's kind of ridiculous. So there we go. If it keeps happening, I mean, it's going to have to be called out more publicly than this. It's going to...
Well, now you've actually started the great witch hunt, man.
You need to be a little bit... Give me a taste.
Of what?
Give me a limerick of someone's name.
A lot of players will do things such as they know that, we do things like run commercials and come out of the commercial and say a few words and start a game. A lot of players will just start, you know. And it's like, well, they already know that they aren't allowed to do that, but they just do it because they're angry. And it's like, well, you can't do that. There's been some choice words from players as well, and there's several players that have been doing this recently.
Like what? Like you guys ready to go? And they're like, fuck you, tasteless, you douche. And then he's like...
Almost.
What?
I'm not even fucking around here, man.
Jeez.
Like, Tasteless will be so nice in the game, and he'll be like, we're running commercials 2 minutes. And they'll be so angry at that, and it'll just be like, what the fuck is going on here? So, it's not everyone, but there are some of them. So I just wanted to let that out and let, tournament organizers go ahead, start banning players that are actually doing this too much. And I understand players that you're frustrated, try to think of other people rather than yourselves sometimes. It's hard, man, to be on camera and be on the whole time. So I don't want negativity brought into that. I want to be happy. I want to do this. We're trying to, work with the players. So, all right, that's the end of my rant.